let's try to squeeze this last one in. Let's talk about the possible Twitter implosion. Right? You know, I got to use the air quotes.
Yeah,
possible. Yeah. My angle was going to be, does this have any impact on artists or creatives? Because
no, there's other sites called Instagram and Facebook and TikTok that work just as fine as Twitter does.
Jay Moore, I see you. I'm gonna use him as an example. You're on Instagram. I see you on Instagram.
But I'm on Twitter
but you
too.
You get a lot of your bars off, quote unquote, on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And don't nobody care.
That's what I was looking for.
I'm not trying to be saying, but
that's what I was looking
for. With the knowledge on Twitter.
Don't nobody care.
Don't nobody care.
Okay.
Look, this is the thing with Twitter. It's going to be just fine. It just will not be an app that can be used by advertisers. Like, the only people who are going to want to stick with Twitter as far as advertising are FanDuel and what is the other one? Sports, all these sports, MGM betting,
gambling, and all that.
I see more advertising for gambling apps than I see anything else. I can't go through my timeline. I can't look at my replies without every 3 tweets being something about online gambling. And what's crazy is, like, these are especially when you watch football or any sport at this point, when you see all these gambling apps, like, gambling isn't even, I think it's less than half of the states in the union that allow online gambling. Like, I wanted to place a bet when I was in St. Louis.
Are you balling?
Certainly not. And because of course it got to check your GPS of where you're at. It's like, nope, cannot place a bet here like you can when you're in Indiana. You can enter a little fantasy lineup, but you cannot actually say, I want to put $5 on the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat whoever. Now, I'm not putting no money on the Pittsburgh Steelers this year because I know better, but I'm just saying that when you look at, as far as these big corporations, especially if did you see what happened with Eli Lilly, keeping it local?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Eli Lilly and a Nintendo, they had a Mario throwing up the finger.
Yeah.
They, what else? It was something else crazy that happened. Because people were just getting verified accounts.
Yeah.
And the name of it is the company. The @ handle is something different, but people are just looking at that name and the verified and running with it like, oh my God.
So wait a minute, yeah. So I can cause a change in valuation of millions of dollars just because I spent $8. It's the wild, wild west, and not in a good way.
Lone says it will have impact if it goes away. He says it will have impact if it goes away.
You know what it'll impact?
These
companies that are going to black Twitter, learning what you're doing and how to advertise their products.
That's a good angle. I didn't think about it like that. That's a good angle.
Because you know what Twitter will do? Look, I remember when I got rid of cable. I cut the cord. And I was like, how am I going to live without my DVR and being able? And you know what happened? Like 2 weeks in, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Twitter. Everyone's going to figure it out. You'll post a trailer for your movie somewhere else.
Right.
You'll post, and these other companies, they will pivot to a way they'll make sure that you can get your content or make whatever. Look, I don't know why anybody would invest in Twitter in the first place. The company it loses money every day that it's open.
He pretty much had to do it just to prove that he can do it. Because
it's more about him being able to say, I cop. I agree.
Because if you bought Twitter just so you can get Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene back on. I've never seen somebody set $44 billion on fire like this. And you know what? If you really about that life, let Louis Farrakhan back on Twitter. If you really about that freedom life.
You know who I think is going to affect?
Trump just made it back on there.
You know who I think is going to affect also is what we talked about, artists and creatives or whatever. But I think sports journalists are going to be affected because this is the one avenue where they can actually. I ain't gonna say cook.
Woj and Darren Ravel.
Those people, I get Woj bombs when he talks about the NBA and big trades and stuff. He's credible. Chris Haynes, reporters like that. If Twitter were to go away, there's a set of people in sports that would be extremely affected by it.
But if those people said, "Hey, you know what? We're not doing this because someone else confirmed a LeBron James trade that wasn't really, and it wasn't really me, they'd be like, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want the actual information. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok. Once again, none of this is actually that important.
Zuckerberg and Instagram, does he own both of those?
Yeah, it's all under the Meta. Instagram.
They'll pretty much just create a Twitter version on one of those two platforms.
The same way they did
TikTok.
The same way they're like, okay, that's what TikTok is doing. Oh, now our stories can be a minute.
That's what I'm saying. They pretty much took the format that TikTok used.
Oh, Vine,
and brought it over to
we got
Instagram
stories. Like they find a way to usurp pretty much anything that anybody that takes eyes off of their platform.
To Lone's point, it's literally where the real journalists live. It is. Like, this is where stories break, and I love Instagram, and I think Instagram is, overall probably more popular. Lone will know the numbers. But as it relates to journalists and people breaking stories, those Woj bombs that happen on Twitter, those are different.
Well, no, I think
you know what I'm saying? The reporters that are on there and can actually voice their opinion in those characters, that's a little bit different from using Instagram as a medium or TikTok or whatever, just in my opinion.
Because one of the things that I will say that Twitter has done is, like, when the police send out a report and instead of us actually just believing a police report, there are people on the ground who'll be like, nope, didn't happen like that. Oh, the situation unfortunately that happened in Colorado,
right?
Without Twitter, I wouldn't have known that one of the people that apprehended the gunman, unfortunately, because the cops show up and get it wrong.
Well, the Citizens app does that.
They put him in the back of the car for an hour, not knowing, I wouldn't know so much about what's going on in Iran right now.
Right.
I wouldn't know, how bad they messed up, when all those kids were shot in Texas. A lot of those stories get out because of Twitter. Because people who are there in real time can say, no, that's what the police are telling you is wrong.
Lone says IG is irrelevant. And I'm sure he has numbers to...
No, he's right.
to back this
in
up.
a way he's right. Because you know what? IG wants to charge you for people to see for people you already know who follow you to see, like, I posted something, like, first of all, IG knows what they know what a flyer is.
Sure.
They have an algorithm. So I posted something. I was like, if I post me and a picture of a puppy, that's clearly not advertising anything.
Right.
It'll get 150, 200 impressions, and I can look at the, exactly what it is. But if I post a flyer for a party I'm doing tomorrow night, I was like, how is it only 15 people, and the same 15 people saw this?
Yeah.
So.
Playing the algorithm game.
The algorithm game, the fact that none of the stuff, at one point, everything on Instagram was in order of when it was posted. Honestly, Instagram really is kind of useless at this point.
I mean, TikTok isn't in order either, honestly.
It'll
keep showing you the same thing sometime. Like, if you liked something.
Yeah, based on what you like.
It'll tell you to watch it again, the same exact video.
We all being, what they say, what Kanye said, being programmed with these algorithms or programmed. Yeah. I see ads pop up as soon as I click on something. It's like I'll go to something else. There's an ad for what I just clicked on a totally different.
The only way to stay away from any of this programming. So, and this is the thing I don't get about people that always talk about the program. Is they continue to use these same platforms
that is doing,
or they'll try to get you to move to another platform. Right. That in the long game is going to do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, I don't understand why you're so into, it's programming. Right. But come over here because we're not programming. You're just programming in a different way. It's a different code.
What you said is the ultimate answer is to remove yourself. I'm talking about completely. That's the ultimate answer. If not, you're going to be quote unquote programmed and influenced by anything just like anybody else. We all are. I'm not about to sit up here and say, yeah, I'm on social media, but I ain't programmed like y'all. That's bull. Like I would be capping if I said that. Yeah. Like we all scroll. We all play the scroll game. We all watch.
My daughter is 3 and she scrolls.
That's what I'm saying.
On YouTube.
Yes.
But she's still scrolling.
She's scrolling.
Yep.